Hi, this is Ryan from the Kern River Fly Shop and the Buhler Brothers. My time video today is on a BWO emerger pattern that I call Tommy's emerger, because my friend Tommy loved to fish it on the lower Owens. It's a good pattern to fish throughout the eastern Sierras and also on the Kern River. I tie it in sizes 16 to 22s. It can vary in shades from light olive to darker olives all the way into black. I use a biot for the body. You can see here the strip goose biot. I like to tie it smooth. Sometimes I tie it with the ridge. Either way, I don't think it matters for fishing. I just like to tie it smooth, so I think it looks better that way. So that's the way I'm going to show you today. Let me get this one out and get my hook in there. Like I said, I tie it in 16 to 22, but most of my fishing is with an 18, which this is, and size 20. We'll start with an olive thread. On the smaller patterns, this is a Viva's 10-aught. It's a good thread. They go all the way down into 12 to 16-aught, so when you get down into your smaller patterns, you can use those smaller threads. Start it off here in the center, come up to 60% and stop right there, come back. And instead of clipping off my tag end, what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it and I'm going to secure it right to the top of the hook, and I'm going to use that to help split my tail. Come right back to there, and I'll come back up to the beginning. And for my tail, I'm going to use the microfibettes. There you go. Look like little paintbrush. In fact, they are the same material as a lot of the nylon paintbrushes. So I'll grab 2 of those, and we'll tie those on top of the hook shank. I'll come in and I'll measure. I like to have them 1 hook shank length or even just a little bit more. And I'll come, and again I'm going to tie those right on top. And you don't have to do real tight wraps. I'll come right up to the end there. Now here's the hard part. You can see those microfibettes like to kind of stick together, and that's what we're going to use the thread to split them. But at times it's kind of hard to get your thread in there. Sometimes you can get it on the first go. Other times it takes a little bit. Oh, nice, got it right there. So I'll pull that thread up, and you don't have to pull it real tight. I'll come and do a few wraps going back up. Once I get 3 or 4 in there, I can come in and cut off my tag end now and my excess of the tail fibettes. There we go. Now I continue my wraps up, and you can see where now, hopefully you'll see that on the camera, you can see where the tails split really nice, represent what's actually out there on the water. This emerger pattern, I like to fish in the top, say 12 inches of the water column. I tail it behind or trail it behind an adult pattern, regular parachute Adams or parachute BWO, say 12 inches behind it, and have it fishing in the film. You can also fish it as a nymph if they're not emerging, but anytime BWOs are emerging, fish it in the upper column and you'll find out it's a really productive pattern. Now for my body, I'm going to use that goose biot. So I'm going to bring my thread back, so I'm going to tie it in at the end there. And one thing with the goose biots, if you want to tie it with the shiny side, you can see here, there we go, that on my left it's kind of like a straight edge, and then on my right it comes out like a knife blade. And then down on that knife blade side you can see there's a little notch. When you go to tie in for the smooth sides, have it facing you like this, where the notch is on your right hand side, and then take it and turn it directly upside down. Sorry about that. And we're going to bring it right back, and we're going to tie it in right at the tip, or just a little above the tip. There we go. And then we'll come forward, do a few wraps, create a little taper, not much, just a little. And then before I do my wraps, I'm going to get my hackle pliers here. You see those? And I'm going to grab it right on the tip. And it makes it a little easier than doing it with your fingers. And if you don't have a rotary vise, you could hand wrap it, but if you have a rotary vise, it's really nice to be able to take it, and it doesn't want to lay right. There we go. Oh, you can see it twisting on me. Whenever it does that, go ahead and start again. Just re-wrap. I'm sorry, back up on your wraps. And we'll re-tie it in to where it's going to sit and lay just right. So again, I'm going to come in, do a wrap. And I'll wrap those up to the front. There we go. Now let's see what it wants to do with this. Oh, there we go. So once you get your wrap going, you're just going to slowly work it forward. It has really nice segmentation, which the regular real BWOs do also. When you get up the front, do 2 or 3 wraps to secure it. Sorry about that. We'll come in with our scissors and cut that off right there. Excellent. And then we'll do a few wraps, make it nice and smooth, where we're going to tie in our abdomen. There we go, beautiful thorax body. Now, I'm going to tie in a little medallion sheeting. And here's the medallion sheeting. You can see I have buggy brown. It's a really nice color to use for the back. This is going to be a back that we're going to put on. I'm going to come, I'll put it, you can see I hold it right on the side of the hook. Get a securing wrap, and then as you go, it's just going to slide right up and over to the top. Perfect. And that's going to be a little shell back casing there after we're done. And the next and last material will be a little ice dub. You can use any dubbing that doesn't absorb water. I like this because it has a nice little shine to it, but it's also a little bit buggy. I'll take it and apply just a little. You don't want to overdo it. It's better to go with a little bit at first. And then if you need more, you can always add more. There we go. We'll wrap around. That seems like a nice amount. And don't worry about any straggling hairs that are sticking out or fibers. Now we're going to take the medallion sheeting and pull it over for our wing case. I think that's what I was looking for the whole time, was wing case, not shell back. Here I'll put my finger, I'll grab the material and put my right hand, my finger right against the hook eye. And then I'll come in and wrap directly over it and give a little snug pull on it, 3 or 4, or actually 2 or 3 will do. Come in, cut your excess off, pull back any fibers, do a little wrap right there for your head. And if there are any fibers you don't like, come in and just cut them out of there. And if there's not enough fibers for you to be buggy enough, you can come in and pull those out and make more legs if you like. I like it just kind of like that. That's real nice. And I'll do a whip finish or a half hitch. Get a little snug. I'll do 2 of those. Perfect. And that's really the whole bug right there. When the BWOs are emerging, one thing about their wing case, it'll start getting dark. And it'll also start expanding. So I'll come in with a brown marker and I'll darken that up. And I know that if I know they're emerging on the water, I'll make a bigger, poofier abdomen to replicate that expanding abdomen on the naturals. You can come in, you can put a little UV product of any kind on your wing case and also on your biot to make it a little stronger if you like. I don't use the UV. Not that it's not a good product, it is. I just haven't switched over. I like using a Sally Hansen's top coat or a hard as whole. That seems to work real well for me. One day I'll make the jump over. Again, I like to fish this in the film, trail it behind an adult pattern, parachute Adams, parachute BWO, and 12 inches behind, and have it fish in the first, foot of the column of water. If BWOs are emerging, you find that it's a really useful pattern out there. Go give it a try, and thanks for watching. See you next time.